Duty After School is so good. It's like all of us are dead, but except for zombies, it's aliens. Based on the webtoon under the same name, Duty After School takes you through a unique spin on alien invasion. One day, these spheres suddenly appeared out of nowhere, and they happen to be floating in the air over densely populated areas. The only areas where they don't seem to exist is in colder climates. During the first episode, you're quickly introduced to all of the major characters of the story. It's just your normal high school day-to-day shenanigans, as these students are only worried about their own social status or some test that will progress them into college life and their future. The character development of all the students moving forward is amazingly deep though. At first, it's almost impossible to keep track of who everyone is, but as you watch further along, the complex layers of these students really start to stand out. All of a sudden, these spheres start to fall from the sky, and once you get a good look at them, they kinda look like mutated versions of a manta ray and an octopus. All hell absolutely breaks out at one point. After the first episode kills a student, these spheres start to go insane and start to attack everyone at the school. And K-dramas are so good at this because they kinda lower your guard, and then all of a sudden, blood, decapitation, and gore all over the place. And it's amazing. And in dramas like this, you don't want to get too attached to any of the characters because you're gonna get like one of those Walking Dead syndromes. Your favorite characters just might end up dying. And I was really starting to like the teacher. But in any case, what makes this drama so refreshing is how seamlessly it's able to push the more serious moments with a more lighthearted tone. K-dramas are amazing at doing this, and Duty After School does it in spades. These students are literally forced into military action by the government, and they have to quickly transform themselves from teenagers into soldiers. They have to use these special bullets to kill these spheres, as regular means of weapons of mass destruction does absolutely nothing to them. In the final moments of episode 6, these battle-tested students turned soldiers must carry out a do-or-die mission. As they move through the streets to kill as many spheres as they can, they come across a couple of survivors. Throughout this drama, we've gotten accustomed to just how scared and traumatizing it must be to be in this situation, but it gets much deeper as the story shines a spotlight on Park Yun-so, a survivor from one of the shelters who is struggling to keep it together. The story takes a beat from everything else to remind us that despite the small victories our tiny soldiers have been able to accomplish, the horrors of this invasion goes deep into the psyche of some individuals. It's a quick reminder that at any moment, anyone can break, and it can be your last. Now, I know that I said that you shouldn't get attached to any of the characters, but you can't help it if a drama is this good, and the character development is also amazing. And I've definitely gotten a little bit more attached to Platoon leader Lee Chun-ho, who has pretty much taken the responsibility of looking after these kids. And I love Lee Nara because you need like one of those characters to just stand out above the rest and just take care of business. And man, when she starts hitting those targets and she becomes kind of like the sniper for the group, she is an amazing character and you're always rooting for her. But you know, if this is anything like Walking Dead, you know what I mean? Like, your favorite characters might just end up dying. And the class president, for some reason, I love her character. She's strong-willed and she has the group like under control. But she also kind of looks like the Korean version of Christina Ricci. But I really like how composed she is throughout the story, and she keeps everyone together, and without her, most of the group would freak out and everything would be in complete chaos. And I might get a little bit of flack for this, but I kind of like the bully. He has very complex layers about him. Obviously, he doesn't come from a silver spoon background, he comes from a poor family, but all of his emotions and all of the layers that he's portraying, I kind of think there's going to be some kind of heroic or redemptive moment for him in the next couple of episodes. As in all things that happen in a show like this, nothing ever goes according to plan. The spheres aren't cooperating with the game plan for our platoon to lure them into the school, where they've set up explosives in an attempt to eliminate a massive amount of them in one go. The spheres overwhelm the area, and of course, platoon leader Lee Chun-ho has to stay behind to complete the task. As time starts to run out, our surviving members are faced with a terrible choice. And as I'm watching this sequence play out, I'm also reading the comments that go absolutely bananas. I watch this on Viki, and I like to read the live comments, by the way. But anyways, the situation sucks, and they have to detonate the bombs and sacrifice our platoon leader in the process. As disbelief and anger and desperation sets in, the explosion sets the entire school ablaze moments before the spheres get to the platoon leader. So is he alive? Like, I'd like to think not. Because with the way the story has gone, getting rid of some of the characters, It seems like a very important moment for our students to finally break through. The sacrifice of the platoon leader is necessary for the story, is necessary for the characters to move forward and become even more like soldiers, I guess. But then there is this one thing that I don't think has been really talked about, and it's how this guy with the glasses, I believe his name is Young So, how he smells. They kind of hinted that the aliens seem to know what's going on and where these people are living or where they're hiding from. And it's in episode 6 where they're setting up these explosives, and Cha So-yoon is kind of like smelling him, and she's like, like you kind of smell like these spheres. And so that's something to look forward to in the next part. Episode 7 and 10, I believe, is going to be coming out at the end of April. So look out for that, and that might be something to look out for. So in terms of what happens next, I don't know anything about the webtoon, but if you do, please don't spoil anything in the comment section below. But anyway, I'd love to know what your predictions are for part 2. I think there's going to be a little bit of a breakthrough in terms of how these spheres communicate with each other, and perhaps they're planting human bodies across the community so that they know exactly what they're planning. And of course, we haven't really seen the big ones. I think we're going to see more of those because we've only seen it in, I think, at the end of first episode when the first student gets killed by one. And so I'm really expecting more of those to show up in part 2. In any case, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you like K-dramas and if you like K-pop, join us each and every week. We're gonna have a lot of fun. But leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, tap that bell so you know when we post new videos. And once again, we'll see you next time.